Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Xaereth Prevails. Today I wanted to talk about Grand Arena Season 10 and what kind of things may ensue. I usually try to do some kind of a hype video, some kind of a preparation thing for it, and unfortunately, for those of you who don't know, I'm pretty sure that it's going to be 3v3 with ships. Not my favorite thing at all. Really frustrated by that. I do like 3v3, but as more of a novelty than anything else, I really don't have much invested in 3v3 other than it's kind of a nice break from 5v5. I do prefer 5v5. I feel like I was just hitting my groove in 5v5. So going back to 3v3 with the land of galactic legends in 3v3, man, the landscape is going to be such a mess. Going to be really frustrating. A lot of people are going to be sitting this one out, going for the locked in carbonite feat or title, whatever. I am not going to do that, and I want to prepare everyone as best I can, just for the eventuality that you want to actually play in 3v3. There's a lot of things we can do to mitigate these various frustrating things. So here first, let's take a look. I wanted to show you guys. So this is on the SWGOH server. You can see it's under their datamine section. So you can see at the very bottom here, the next GAC will be 3v3 with ships. And so, you know, that's frustrating. This is from a very credible source. Yeah, as I said before, it's not necessarily what we want to see. And then they also data mined all the different feats. And so if you guys want to check out what the feats are, I actually took all of the I took the data mine information, and let me see if I can get to it really fast here. I'm doing all this live because I don't have a huge amount of time for making a video today. So let's see. So if you go back here, if you go to the video description here on this video, go to my Discord server, and under the tab, or under the channel 3v3 info here, you can see I've pasted the data mine information here. You can click on it, you can zoom in on it here, and yeah, it's there it is. It's not necessarily like super easy to read, but you can extrapolate what you're doing. Essentially, you want troopers to be ready. You need to be ready with troopers to be able to do stuff. So yeah, there you go. Go ahead and check that out. Now, beyond just this data mine information, so you guys will know what feats they are because CG has not announced them yet. We also have access to the Grand Arena history, and I know that I showed you guys this in a previous video, but I do want to show you guys one more time how it works. So you need to go to swgoh.gg. So here, let me zoom in just a little bit here for you guys. Alright, so we're going to look at the top here, and we're just going to pretend like this is just a random browser page. So swgoh.gg. So just type that in, click on the Galaxy of Heroes database thing, and let's say that we typed in our opponent's name and number, all of that stuff. So we can click on, we'll go to the GAC history here, and under the history, so you guys can see here under round 1, or not under round 1, under the dates, you can only see 3 weeks worth, and you know that's just a limitation of the formatting of this website. It's not necessarily, it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with what's available. So you have 3 weeks here. You also have a ton of other weeks. All the weeks are still available since the start of Grand Arena history. So all you need to do here, you need to click on like round just click on round 2 here. And from there, you can see here, let me move this browser just a little bit here. So you can see up top here on the Grand Arena URL. It's kind of a mess, but what you want to do, so it says equals 26 here, and then equals round 2. So you need to click on the round 2 because it changes the URL a little bit so that you can actually access the GAC equals 26. So this just means that this is week number 26 that is available. So if we go back to, let's see, so 23, 24, 25, yeah, so 23 would be the start of the current, or the most recent 5v5 round. So if you go to GAC equals 22, you should be able to then look at, yeah, so it's bringing us to the most recent week of 3v3 that we had. Let me zoom out one more time here, and you can see this is my first match of week 4 from 3v3. So you can access your opponent's name, and you can access not just their name, you can access all of the teams that they used in 3v3 to be able to do all of this stuff. And frankly, I mean, the way you look up your opponent's information really is just all you have to do is type in their like ally code. You can do that ally code in the top section here. Let me zoom in one more time. Okay, so you see on the top here where this number is. This is my ally code for my account. That's what we were looking at for my Grand Arena history. All you have to do to find your opponent, type in their ally code instead of this number here, and that should take you directly to their Grand Arena history. So easy enough, but something that's worth looking at. 3v3 is a totally different animal than 5v5, as I'm sure that you guys all know. This was only a month ago that we had this, but it's good to know what your opponent's tendencies are. I'm sure things are going to change. We've had Jedi Luke added, we've had Chew 3PO added, we've had all sorts of people have developed galactic legends since then. So lots of things have changed. But you'll be able to see your opponent's tendencies a little bit if you want to research. Researching in Grand Arena is, of course, key to winning, at least at the higher levels, at least if you're matched up against good players. So I advise you guys to check that out. Okay, so that was Grand Arena History, which I think is an amazing tool. Totally worth checking out, guys. Really, really awesome. So other than that, though, there's another resource that I mention it often because I think it's a great resource. Frankly, I think a lot of people use it, and other people would benefit from using it, and that is the Grand Arena counter sheet that I maintain with my good friend SoloBase15, and you can find the link to that in the video description below. So we're going to pretend here right now like I've just clicked on that link in the video description, and what's going to happen is you're going to come to this spreadsheet. Now this is zoomed in just a little bit just to make the video a little bit easier to read, but what this is a sheet that lists all of the different matches that I've had, or at least a lot of them. I haven't recorded every single one of them, but a lot of the matches that I've had in Grand Arena for 3v3, and you can see here on the bottom I have a 5v5 tab as well. Because it's 3v3 this season, we've switched the tab so that people go there by default, but what this is, though, we've listed all the different team names and compositions that we've faced, and the red highlights are just the more recent ones, because I have a bunch of examples from like the very start of 3v3, like a full year ago. Some of them are, there's lower gear involved, of course, because we didn't have gear 13. I didn't necessarily know what I was doing as well as I do now, so the non-highlighted ones are slightly less current examples. They're still relevant. I've taken all of the less than relevant ones and put them in this archive tab. So if you want to check those out, that's also available to you. But what this is, though, what this counter sheet is, you just search by what the opposing team leader is. And so one example I want to show you guys today anyways is a shock. So shock T lead with echo and 5s. Let's say that you have to face that and you want to see what other people have used. So one possible option, you could use Savage lead with Malik, and there's a video link here that can take us to that. Or the one that I want to show you guys that was in the final match of the last 3v3 season here is Shock T with Echo and 5s versus Kylo Ren Unmasked, First Order Executioner, and Watt. And all you have to do here now, so we found the team we want. We're like, okay, so we have a team available for that. And now we can see it can take us to the video of that match. So I don't have it hyperlinked perfectly here. But what I do have is, so here we got to click this ad, I believe, get that going. But so what we can do here is when you look in the video description, all you have to do is go to the timestamp, and beneath that you can just click on the timestamp. It takes us directly to that fight in question, and now you can just see on YouTube an example of how we actually countered this. If you want to turn on sound, you can hear my commentary. I'm not actually going to turn that on right this moment. It's probably enough for you guys to see 2 pictures of me here. Probably more than enough. So anyways, you can see how we went about this, and I do want to point out that this team is super effective against Shock T teams, even Shock T teams with Rex, because Rex can't do his Rexecute against Kylo Ren Unmasked, and because you have the taunting tech, you never really lose the taunt, so Rex will just always shoot Kylo, and he won't do much damage. So just something worth thinking about, that this team counters a lot of teams. It's a really strong 3v3 team, something for you guys to keep in mind. So beyond that, that's how the counter sheet works, and we do update it consistently. There are a lot of different counters available. We've started to stock all of the Supreme Leader Kylo counters that we didn't really face that many last season, that had really simple counters. A lot of times we just had to bypass them, or I think maybe there's might be a couple we didn't record or we didn't archive for one reason or another, but I will absolutely be facing a lot of those this season, so follow along with me on YouTube if you want to see more current ones. We have more Rey counters on here as well. And one thing that I do want to point out is Galactic Legends are going to be a significant problem in 3v3. That's it. I'm feeling very frustrated about that, frankly. There's not a way that I can see that you can place both of your Galactic Legends on defense and still be able to counter with off-meta teams 2 Galactic Legends. I just don't think you can do that currently in 3v3. I'm sure Jedi Luke is going to add some utility. Maybe something will come to the surface eventually, but right now, after talking to a lot of very knowledgeable people, I do think that Galactic Legends are just going to require other Galactic Legends to counter. I do think you'll be able to use at least one team to counter one of them, mostly involving Jedi, like Jedi Revan, General Skywalker, Jedi Luke if you have him. And here, I do want to show you guys one way that I took down an Ultimate Rey last season. And so let's go to that video, in fact. And we'll go to the video description here, pull up the kill. So you can see that what I'm doing here. So I used my Supreme Leader Kylo, and I actually played it very poorly, and and had my Supreme Leader Kylo die to this Rey team. I was watching it earlier today. I was like, wow, I could have done so much better. But what you're doing here, and you can see the zoomed in video. All right, I had some technical difficulty, but here, coming back to this section, so what we're doing is she's using her lifeblood ability. She spams that, and you can see that her health is super low. So you just feed Rey some really bad characters one at a time, and once she's at that super low health, then you can send in your A-Team Jedi and just kind of bum rush her and try to take her out. Now, this method is not 100% reliable. There is some RNG involved, of course. Revan is a great candidate for this, however, because of Revan's ability to use sacrifice, or savior, rather, to be able to keep one of the Jedi alive. So you can see that Rey went in, one-shot one of the Jedi, but Revan kept him alive because of Savior, and then you're able to beat the rest of them. So you need to use a bunch of dumb, small teams that are, very weak. Just one character, two characters, etc. You can see other examples of that from the counter sheet, but this is a very tried and true method to being able to beat this if you don't have your own galactic legend. Another method, of course, is to use Thrawn along with a couple really heavy hitters. If Thrawn can get fracture on one of the galactic legends, then awesome. You can just pummel them to your heart's content. So you need to kind of maneuver the situation to what you want it to be, but countering galactic legends in 3v3 is just going to be very problematic. There's a couple different outside the box counters that exist though, so keep an eye on this channel. Look at the counter sheet for updates to that, as well as we develop more. I will let you guys know. Alright, so I've shown you guys a bunch of resources for the upcoming 3v3 season. I do want to just point out a couple just random things. My buddy Hens sent me a whole list of different things to talk about for 3v3 because I asked him, and he's a great player, lots of good ideas, and so here's a distillation of some of the things he wanted to point out. So one thing that you need to keep in mind, so galactic legends are of course very difficult to shift in 3v3. That's part of what I've been talking about today, and what you need to realize is beyond that, I know that the order of the metas goes Darth Revan, then General Skywalker, then the Galactic Legends, and I know that's how it is. That's the shape of the world. However, it's different in 3v3. General Skywalker is just not as good as the full Darth Revan squad. Full Darth Revan squad being Darth Revan, Bastila, and Malak. So you may see some evidence of General Skywalker beating that team, but it's not going to be super common if the gear is very similar. So something to keep in mind. Another thing to keep in mind, just this is common sense in some ways, but just remember, like, speed can be different in 3v3 because a lot of speed modifiers on different characters are based off of how many characters are surrounding certain characters. So for instance, Vader gets +8 speed for every Jedi, every Rebel, every Sith, and every Empire character, and so it stands to reason that if he's only surrounded by 3 Empire/Sith characters instead of 5, he's going to be slower. Same with when he faces Jedi, etc. Same with Rex, he's going to have fewer clones to give him modifiers to his speed, so he's 4%, 8%, even 12% slower in some cases, so keep that in mind. And then Jedi Knight Revan is another obvious example. He gets +5 per Jedi he's with, and +5 per Old Republic character, so he's going to be slower as well in 3v3. And then finally, Rey is... maybe you guys know this, maybe you don't. I don't personally have Rey yet, so I'm kind of relying on my buddy Hens, but I think he's right. After facing all of this nonsense in the last 3v3 season, the Hero Bros, they go fine with Rey. They do, but there are probably even stronger options, frankly. Like you can have healing characters for Rey, characters that make Rey more resilient, and so I think the Resistance Hero Bros can go with like Finn lead, like OG Finn lead, even with Jedi Training Rey lead probably works just fine. You don't necessarily need them to go with Rey, and the same with Supreme Leader Kylo. You don't need the strongest backup characters, though I will say I do think Hux just needs to stay with Kylo like forever. They're just too good together. So let's see. Finally, I just wanted to show you guys one team that I've been thinking of lately, and we have Chupio now, 3 Paka, people are calling him, or Tupac, whatever. I don't know. There's like 8 million names for this character, and clearly I don't have him super well geared, but I have been thinking about this. I know that some people are going to be running Rey with Chewie and Han, and for that I bite my thumb at you, if you know what that means. It's a little bit, it's a very tough defensive team, but I don't have Rey, so one split that I'm currently thinking of, though, is using Kira with Chewie and Han, and this is an established, good offensive team. My buddy Clash from the Scoundrel server does this, consistently uses this team. It's very strong, even without Luke, so Kira can go with them, and then Luke can go with 3PO and 3-pack, 3-2PO. I don't know. I'm still awkward saying his name, apparently. So Chupio is a very good character. He's going to assist every time one of your rebels goes at all, and so Luke is going to be going a lot, and then what's going to happen is every time he does a basic and hits, then he's going to cause an expose, and so you're going to be doing a ton of expose damage because Luke is going to go, and then Chupio is going to shoot, and 3PO is going to turn that into an expose, and in 3v3 I think they're going to get a ton of turns, and it's just going to be very difficult and annoying to stop, especially if your Chupio is better than just 3 stars gear 9. So just one quick hitter team that I've been thinking of personally for using in 3v3. I don't necessarily want to do 3v3, as I said before, but we don't have a choice. And frankly, I mean, we may as well make the best of it. So I'm just cautiously excited for it, I guess. I'm just always excited for Grand Arena in general. But I think this video has gone on long enough. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful and or useful to you. And I'm going to let you go. So thank you all so much for watching. And remember that in all things, Xaereth prevails.